I keep seeing all these videos where women are like, I'm headed out to the polls to cancel out my dad's vote, and I don't have to do that because my dad is dead. This is actually his sweater, is now my inheritance, or a part of it. There were many sweaters. Anyway, I have been trying to guess or imagine who I think he would have voted for. A fun fact about my dad is that he was both a longtime public school teacher, active member of his union, and a committed, unironic listener of the Rush Limbaugh show. He was a registered Republican. He always voted for the Republican running for president, excluding, I think, Bill Clinton the first time. But then he would get to the bottom of his ballot, which is super important. If you're watching this video, fill out the bottom of your ballot. Pause right now, go fill out the bottom of your ballot. Anyway, my dad would get there and he would vote usually for like who the teachers union had asked him to vote for. There was actually a year where he and I were not speaking to each other, unrelated, but we were both canvassing for the same like school funding bill that the progressives wanted. Before I tell you my guess, I just want to say that my middle brother agrees with me about this. I don't think we've asked my youngest brother yet. Asa, if you're watching this, who do you think dad would have voted for? In 2016, he voted for Donald Trump. He said that he had to go with the party. And then in 2020, I think he wrote in Charlie Baker, who was at the time the Republican governor of Massachusetts. I don't think that Charlie Baker had asked people to write him in. I just think my dad, well, I'm pretty sure that's what my grandparents did that year. And I think he chose to go that route because like they're the kind of Republicans who couldn't not vote for a Republican, but they also were embarrassed about the Donald Trump of it all. If my dad were voting this year, he would be voting in Colorado. That's where I grew up and where he lived until he stopped living. And my guess, I think that he would be voting for RFK Jr. because we know from the 2020 vote that he doesn't actually care if the candidate that he votes for has any chance of winning the election. I ran this guess by my mother and she reminded me that my father was not a big fan of the Kennedys, but the thing is, I don't think the Kennedys are a big fan of RFK Jr. Anyway, if you have a dead parent or parents, who do you think they would be voting for?